Hello. Today I'm going to finally get around to reviewing this air conditioner. I know this is like the third one I've installed, but I think this one's going to stay for the rest of the season. I'm in the middle of rearranging in here, and I've wanted to have a window unit installed in this window rather than the other one, for a couple of reasons, which I'll explain now. But also, I've had this unit for like a year now, over a year and a half now, and this has been like the second-ish time that I've like actually legitimately used the machine rather than just testing it for a video. So that's also the purpose of this video. Now, the first reason why I need an air conditioner in this particular window is because the other window has a nice view, in my opinion. If you've ever seen the view out the back window, you know, it's got the view of like the trees and stuff. Very nice. Plus, being able to have that window open at nighttime to hear the crickets and cicadas. Very nice. This window is just the street and goes to house. Still life out there. You can still hear crickets and all out there, which is the other advantage of using this machine, because it's a low profile machine and the top of the window can open substantially more than if I were to use like the Amana in this window. Which brings me to the other point of using this machine. The reason is because of the window size. These windows are not very big. For a while I was using this higher right here. Excuse the awful mess in here. I injured my foot and wasn't really able to walk for a little while, but I am now fine now. Anyways, this higher I was using in here for a while, and I kind of flip-flopped it between this window here and the other one. The reason it didn't last long in this window is because this window is set back into the wall a lot more. Like, you can see, like, the other window came out to where this part ends, but this one goes back a lot more, which causes problems with the blinds and all. The Amana would probably look pretty good in this window, but the Amana is too wide, and getting it into the window would be just fine, but getting it out of the window, I would more than likely have to go out onto the roof and have someone, and like try and like lift it up and have someone else on the inside pull it in, and just a whole fiasco that I don't really want to have to deal with at the end of the season. And the other reason I wanted to have a conditioner in this window is because this is a north-facing window, and the sun's not going to be hitting this window as much during the day. And during the time that the sun hits the other window, not only does it hit the other window for the majority of the day, that's also during the hottest part of the day as well. So all around, it's just better to put an air conditioner in this window. Now, my honest reviews on this thing as of using it, I've been using it for a couple of days now. For one, it's a 7000. It's about the same capacity as the one in the wall, only 1000 BTU lower, whereas the one in the wall is an 8000. This is 7000. It's pretty powerful, and I'm using it off an extension cord because there's no outlet nearby, but I'm sure people are going to be typing in the comments on how awful that is and whatnot, you know, whatever. It's all plastic, which is good and bad. The good is that, yeah, the pan won't rot out. That's about all of the good. the bad is that it's made of that crappy brittle plastic. And in a little bit I'll play a clip of it from the outside, but the grill that like protects a condenser is breaking apart because it's made of that cheap plastic, brittle plastic. I don't know, cheap plastic, but definitely brittle plastic when it's in the sun for too much. And so now it's super ugly, but it works, I guess. It's also very rattly, which is annoying, but even more annoying during the nighttime. I'm gonna sit down. I don't have it on as much during the nighttime unless it's unreasonably humid or hot out at night, which unfortunately recently in the last few years has been pretty bad. But I haven't had the need to use it quite as much though, because I installed a ceiling fan in here and it's helped a lot circulate the air from the central system. Another thing I want to talk about is the noise level. The indoor fan, aside from the weird aerodynamic like sounds that it makes, if you had a side discharge unit like this, you'd probably know what I'm talking about. Which as long as they kind of come and go. Sometimes you hear them, sometimes you don't. But the main issue I have with this machine is and it also aside from the rattling, is the condenser fan. I don't like the design of the condenser fan. The condenser fan is unreasonably loud on this machine, especially for the amount of air that's being moved, which is not much. I even have it with the hose and everything, and it still doesn't move that much air out the back. So especially for the noise level, which I'll demonstrate on the fan. I'll turn it on now. This is before the fuse plug fiasco, so let's put it on. It does not have continuous run, even though it sounds like it does. You see, it doesn't make that sound when I'm on here, but see, it kind of makes a sound there. But also, no side panels. They were broken when I got the machine. Yeah, let's start it on low fan. Aim this away from the camera. For a 7000, it's not that bad. The camera certainly makes these things louder than what actually is. I'm going to be getting a new phone in about a month or so, so we'll see if the audio quality is any better. So this is low fan. Medium. And that's high. Now it is a bit noisy on high. Not unreasonable for the amount of air this thing's moving. Good way to show off how fast the air is coming out. Just a little bit of tape. You can hear the rattling, like it does rattle a bit. don't know if you can hear the aerodynamic noises that I'm talking about with the fan. Let's start up the compressor. This does have a Matsushita compressor and a General Electric fan motor. I'll tell you what, this does use R22, by the way. You probably already knew that based on how old it is. I'll tell you what, out of all the modem units I have used, this is freezing. That's what I mean by all the rattling noises. But it doesn't always do that. Like I said, for a 7000, that's not that loud. The compressor itself is almost inaudible. Most of that sound is the vibration through the plastic casing. Bet you anything, if it wasn't all plastic like that, you wouldn't even hear the compressor, you'd only hear the refrigerant sounds. Which actually does have some nice refrigerant sounds. And also what's interesting is the thermostat placement. A lot of times they just put it here. But on this unit, it's actually down low. Down in here, you can see it right there on a completely separate intake. Which is nice, because if this were to recirculate back into this grill, which it doesn't even if you had it pointing this way, it doesn't recirculate much because the airstream is pretty powerful. Come on. But even if some of that cold air did go back in through that register, it wouldn't affect the thermostat reading, because the thermostat is in a completely different area and out of the way, which is a pretty good design. It does have a couple drain locations, but they're elevated up too high for them to really help that much. It doesn't accumulate a ridiculous amount of water, but it definitely does though on like these past like really humid days. Also, for those wondering, this thing was made in January of 2000. This compressor does have a rough start, but once it's been running for a bit, it's pretty good. Directional things on the register make a huge difference, unlike a lot of the machines that don't make much of a difference at all. The only other time I've actually used this outside of a test run was on the first floor of the old house. It wasn't for very long, because those were like the last couple months. Actually, the last month in general that we were even living there. notice it wasn't very long. And it was able to freeze out that entire first floor. Like, this thing's no joke. This is a great machine. And I will, if I remember to, I will roll a clip of it outside. And that's what it sounds like on full power. For a 7,000, it's not horrible, but it is a little noisy on high. I should also mention the fact that it has this handle in particular is really nice when it comes to the installation and the uninstallation. Makes it very easy to get it in and out of the window. That is the video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.